I was just reminding you this morning, I was in a lot of grief when this all first went down, and I was like, I gotta get out of here, I can't do this. And here I am today, and I'm just thrilled, and I'm celebrating, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. So I think that the support within the group is possibly what has allowed us to do our work already.
I'm just wondering, I don't know if this is premature, but I'm just wondering about timelines. 6 months in May for you, right? So this is middle of March. So new minister within a month and a half is kind of fast. So an interim might be good just because you're not planning to be around, right?
I'm not abandoning you guys.
Well,
I will physically move probably June, July.
Okay.
But
I mean,
Santa Rosa is 2 hours away.
yeah, I'm just wondering, you know.
But yeah, it's a quick timeline.
You know, it's a logistics thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a month and a half, 2 months, maybe. I've seen groups take a long time to get a minister.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, why put the pressure on you when you get an interim that could free you to be more casual, which I think you earned tenfold, and also keep us strong.
One of the advantages of having an interim minister is, A, they've been trained. Secondly, they have to have 7 years experience as a senior minister in a functioning, healthy community. So these are not brand new ministers who, my mother used to say she felt so sorry for first children because that's the one the parents practice on. First ministers practice with their first communities. This can be a great time to connect and grow. But we don't know how we were, those of us who are parents, all knew how we were the first couple of years with our first kid. It was really trial and error. So that's the advantage of having an interim minister, is you get someone who's really experienced and can guide you through the search process for a new minister. An interim minister, by the rules, cannot be the ultimate minister.
It's also like a buffer. You know, you're going through this journey. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and it's a buffer that keeps them not so up and down.
I think it's a wonderful option.
It was in a different community. I was board president, and my first task was to fire the minister. And we got an interim minister, and it was nice because there was consistency, and that minister is trained and knows that communities are in turmoil. So I think an interim minister is an excellent idea.
Yeah.
And I agree, I like that, because I think then we can take part of our money and invite ministers who might be interested in becoming our permanent minister, and we can, trial and error kind of thing, see how we connect.
The search process, by the way, when you get down to looking for a permanent minister, the board will choose an interim, if there is one. Consist of having the minister come, do a Sunday service, do a workshop. See, and there usually is some kind of a social event. So you get a chance to meet them on an informal basis, hear them speak, and see what their teaching style is like. So you do get a chance. And then there's a community vote. This is the board picks the candidates that they can afford, that are willing to work, all that business that's been taken care of. And then it's up to the community to choose who they want. Just so you know, when we get that far, you guys make the final decision.
I have a question about the interim minister process. So is there a pool of ministers that have said, I'm willing to be interim minister, but they would have to agree to what we're able to pay them. So it's not guaranteed that we would even, okay, just wanted to.
It's the same thing, basically.
Except they know it's temporary.
They know it's temporary.
They know it's part-time.
And they're trained
for that particular job as an interim, which is a different job than a senior.
Or permanent.
I think we also have to pay, like if the interim ministers are coming out or a permanent, that, you know, we have to pay for them to come, like if they're flying here from Pennsylvania or something, we're responsible for that plane fare and that, you know, hotel or putting them up in someone's house or something. You know, if they're local, obviously it's a little less expensive, but that's
Yes.
another potential expense, I think, with either an interim or a permanent minister.
Correct. Yes. So it's good if you can try and get them more on the local.
Yeah, Reverend Ann is looking right now, she told us there was one in Oregon and one on the border of California and Nevada. Most interim ministers go in and do it for, 6 months to a year, and then they take a break. There's a reason they don't have their own pulpit. They don't want to be a full-time minister growing a church. Okay? This is a really nice focus for semi-retired ministers. So we get the best, the center, we get the best of both worlds by having an interim in here. But yes, they need to be paid.
We'll keep you updated closely. Because, not only do we not want to do it by ourselves, but we shouldn't do it by ourselves. We need you to help us, but we'll fill out the paperwork and get the ball rolling.
When we go into an actual search, which the community calls it, there will be a search committee, and they will look at the resumes that come in and advise the board. Okay, so there's a way for members of the community to be involved in the initial selection, while the final selections, the whole community's choice. Does that make sense?
You're probably gonna cover this, but do we have a sense of how many people are coming on a Sunday and what our overall, I know we don't officially have numbers, but, our overall sort of, not everybody's gonna be here every Sunday, I wasn't here the last 3 Sundays, but
I would say around 20.
around 20.
20 people come every week, roughly, could be up or down a little bit.
Okay,
Out of a group of about 30.
okay.
I think we have 30 identifiable people who come on a
I'm
semi-regular,
pretty rude.
a semi-regular basis.
Which is, having 2/3 come on Sundays, I think is a lot.
It's phenomenal.
I think that's, because we like being
Okay,
Corey,
yes,
can I talk for a second?
sure.
Thank you.
Would you like a microphone? I just want to let everybody know.
I have a microphone.
The sound lady has everything.
It's 1:05 and we are almost
Done.
done. We have one more to do and that's it. Wonderful.
Was gonna tell you about this earlier, I completely forgot. So, I'm Aspen, I sit in the back and I do all the technology. The reason I introduced myself like that is because once Doug is gone, it will be solely on me to do all of the technology. And as you are all sure, I'm sure you're maybe only slightly aware, I am a young lady with a very full life. And so I cannot commit to every Sunday, all year long, always getting here exactly on time set up. I do my best, but it's just not reasonable at this point in time. So if anybody would like to volunteer, or I can pick somebody on the I love her. I would love some help.
Can you train several people?
I could, if people want to volunteer for a part-time basis of just like, I text you in the morning, I'm like, I'm sick and throwing up, I'm not going to.
Or just say you're not, don't.
Yeah, yeah. If
I'm
someone,
walking and going to the beach.
yes, I do have a life. I do have a long distance relationship where I leave once every month or two, and I need somebody to be here, and I will train you. I will give you a list. I will make things as clear and simple and be as available as I can possibly be, even when I'm not here to answer questions, troubleshoot. I am still learning. I'm learning a lot about how to run everything, and so we can learn together.
And ideally, there's a tech person and a sound person. They're two different things.
Yes.
Sound is technology, technology is sound, but they're different.
And having two people, one back there troubleshoot while I'm up here troubleshooting, is so much easier than me running back and forth, because I get my steps in at work. I'm fine. Okay, thank you.
That actually leads us into
Anything else for done?
our next.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
We should always thank Aspen and Doug.
Thank you,
Okay, upcoming. Way back in November, every one of us did a 6-month commitment, which means your entire board did a 6-month commitment. We need to have elections for new board members. Some of the board members are going to continue on. Thank God Corey is one of them. We have information, it's a FAQ, if you're interested in becoming a board member, the time commitments, what kind of things you can look forward to. At this point, there is so little conflict in this community that board meetings run, like I said, an hour, hour, 15 minutes.
I'd say hour and a half. I figure 2 hours,
But it really is, if you're interested in growing the community, that's the place to be, is on the board, to be part of the discussion about, so, what can we do? How can we do it? What are the resources we have? Okay? So I have information up here for the FAQ about what it means to be a board member. The one thing that's an absolute requirement is you have to have had foundations class. So, or some class. We're going to have elections in April probably, because everybody's term, end of April, because our terms are up in May. Yes, Deborah?
Foundation class, not here, somewhere else.
Makes no difference as long as you've had it, as long as you've had it. And come talk to me if your background isn't traditional, and we'll see what we can work out, okay?
There's one other thing usually that's really important about being on board. It's kind of obvious, but I'm on board at another center, and it wasn't obvious to some people, and that is you need to show up to the board meeting. Seriously, and they are on Zoom, right? So it's not.
Ours are in person.
Oh, they are, okay. That's good.
And if you can't make it in person, Zoom works. The other thing is we expect you to show up on Sunday, because you gotta know the community, and you gotta be part of the community. So you don't have to be here every Sunday, but regular attendance. Okay. Yes, Tommy?
So, is it basically just board meetings, or do we have visioning and separate retreats and?
We do not have retreats at this point. We're not that organized.
We're going on the board.
The visioning is being held separately, and that's another thing we're gonna get into. Debbie is willing to start visioning.
Well, that's not the one.
How much the board does is also up to the board. But it's pretty informal right now. And it can stay informal for quite a while. At some point, the church will get big enough that more formality has to happen, but it doesn't need to be now. Any other questions? Okay. Again, if you're interested at all, talk to me, talk to Corey, talk to Sue, talk to Ann. Carol Marr is moving to Texas to be with her daughter. So we know we have that opening for sure.
2 people for sure.
2 people for sure.
And I just want to say that it took me, well, the first time I went on board, it took me about a year to figure out what was going on. Partially because it was a different group of people and they didn't really tell you what you were expected to do. So I volunteered because Patricia had a little accident. So she was the secretary and I volunteered to take over until she got better. That really helped me figure out what was going on with the board. And so Ann's probably experiencing that now too. And you don't have to do a lot, if that's not what you're comfortable with, or if there's an area that you really like, you could choose that area to get more involved with. And you get to do it on the ground floor, whether it's, policy is your thing, or numbers, budgets, whatever. Or maybe you like, hey, we need more social events. This church needs to have more fun. Well, hey, great, that could be your area. And we'll help you whatever ways we can. If you don't see it, but it's something that you want to do, bring it up, because there's probably a place for it. So, or if you have questions of what your duties would be, or what you think, we're trying to get an action item list going up, and that's, if you're in the mood to work that week, you can pull that up and go, oh, I could do this, and I could do that, and check with us, and you'll be off and running, whether it's marketing, or writing copies, or whatever that we need done. So, it's kind of as much as you want to be involved.
Outside of board meetings and then incoming stress.
So are the board meetings held after the service on a Sunday or a separate day of the week?
That's the way we have it now, after a Sunday, and we meet over at the annex. Yeah, we'll have to think of something new.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have the annex.
Well, I keep saying, aren't you gonna just get that to the church so we can? You got an acre or two. Just sell the back end.
Down girls down.
Yeah, it's right on the main drag, it's easy to get to.
Or are you the perfect person to co-lead with? I have something to say.
Yeah, the board will decide, the new board will decide when they meet and where.
Yeah.
Yes, Debbie?
She gives me the look. She's like, how long are you gonna talk?
Never give a minister a microphone.
That's why she took it.
I know.
I learned that from Aspen. So I have served on a lot of boards with a lot of joy, honestly, and it can be some work, but in general, they are, and especially this board, right? Especially this spiritual community where we love being connected anyway. There's such an amazing way to deepen the connections with the people who we already feel connected with, to understand more about what's going on, to be a servant leader from a place of strength and love and all those things, to really come together as a group to make decisions that are in the best interest of the whole, not the decision that like, I'm really only interested in this or that or the, but there's such a great way to connect more deeply. And I think always go into a board or a board meeting or a board position setting your intention, setting my intention that this is going to be a harmonious place, because boards have a reputation for being contentious, and yet I've served on many, led many, that were harmony and amazing and joy. So that's what the board can be for you.
I was gonna say, I serve on board, and it's like going to church on steroids. It's so awesome, because you're working with a very focused team that has a similar interest and desire, and it's all based on principle and love, and it's transformative. It has been for me. I highly recommend it. It's awesome.
It's a great place to practice putting the teaching into action. And it's a supportive.
And also promoting it within your center through the decisions that you make. I mean, seriously, you have a lot more influence over how your center runs. So if you don't like something, you can do something about it. It's really cool.
You also get a 50% discount on one class per year.
Oh, I didn't know that! Is that everywhere?
No, it's this board.
Oh, that's news.
It's been in there a long time. There's a requirement to take one class a year, but you get a 50% discount. And that's because we assume that you want to stay in the teaching. So we want to support you in doing that. Again, it's circular, We
It's
give,
really
we
awesome.
get. We
It's
give, we
really awesome.
get, you get. Okay, moving along. About 2 years ago, there was a major bylaws change. I'll be real quick about bylaws, because it puts people to sleep.
They're the best.
Bylaws, I know, you and I wrote them. Truly, we have rewritten them 3 different times. Bylaws are the rules of the organization and how to change the rules. They're of absolutely no importance until you run into a problem. And then it's the structure and ground you stand on. One of them they talk about what's the purpose of the organization, how is it organized, how's it governed, who's a member, what makes someone a member. We used to have this really nice definition of membership. And basically, you decided whether you wanted to be a member, you filled out a form that said, yes, I want to support my growth, and I want to support your growth, I will be identified as a member. Okay? There's no signing in blue. Okay? We also had a category called friend, which is, I don't like to join organizations. What's the Mark Twain, I wouldn't join an organization that would have me. Okay? There are people that are just opposed to organizing. I'm going to out you. Connie is a wonderful supporter. She will never go on the board because
Never say never.
Well, that's the last time you lasted 3 months, okay?
Yeah, but it was different.
Yeah, but there's something about that kind of being tied into an organization that is just innately uncomfortable for people. So we have a category called friend. And it means, yes, call me if you need something. Yes, talk to me, but do not expect me to commit to something on a regular basis.
That was me.
Yeah, okay? Currently, the bylaws got changed to where there are no members. So who gets to make decisions?
The core community.
The core community. How is the core community defined?
Who defines it?
Board.
Who defines it?
The core community.
The board.
The board.
Board.
Okay?
Like,
So, how do you know whether you're a member? How do you know if you have a voice? Only the board can tell you. And they don't keep records. It's all personality based.
So if I like you, you'd be in my core community.
Yeah.
I am radically opposed to that. I think people should be able to define what the relationship is with the organization, and the organization should have some clear boundaries. If you're a member, absolutely, we want to hear your vote, because you've already said you're committed. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you show up here twice a year, I really don't think you should have a major decision-making authority. I want to hear your voice. I want everybody who comes here to feel free to give us their opinion. But opinions should be weighted by the people who take classes, who show up, who support through their time, talent, and treasure. Okay? Time and talent is as important as the money. Okay? So, there is a subgroup that's going to be reviewing the bylaws. Technically, it does not have to come back to the community, because it's not taking away any of your benefits. But it will come back for a vote anyway, just because, that openness and transparency thing.
Yeah.
So you can ignore it if you want, but you need to know that's what we have planned for the next couple of months, is to go back and look at reorganizing that definition of membership.
And the board's doing that?
The board is going to do the work on it. If you like doing bylaws, if you've got that kind of a mind, Debbie and Sue Fick are the lead on this one, and they would love to have her.
will that
Did you know that, Debbie?
Yes.
Okay.
I got volunteer.
I didn't know.
I like volunteer.
will that be the new board doing that, or the old board?
Probably both. Okay. This is not anything that we have to do critically in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. But it needs to be done, because when it comes time to vote on a new minister, I'd like to have it cleaned up by then. Visioning. Meditation is being in that quiet space to listen to the deep within, okay? Visioning is asking that deep within, what is the highest and best for me, for my community? It is a spiritual practice. It is fabulous practice. And Debbie is going to be leading them. You want to start visioning for the new minister, for this community. Okay? They will probably happen monthly to begin with. If you guys want it more frequently, we will respond somehow. But let's start with monthly. Debbie says probably Wednesdays, live and Zoom, meaning my house at the annex and on Zoom, 4:30 to 5:30, and Deb's going to lead it. Okay? I will put out more information about this in the weekly newsletter. Okay? But we want to do that. I will be starting the next class in May. I'm not quite sure when yet. It is Consciousness in the Creative Process, which is Troward. So this is not a beginner class, just so you know. Troward is the guy who gave the final logical, intellectual piece to Holmes about treatment and the creative process. He is absolutely foundational. Emerson fed Holmes' heart and his poetry and his love. Troward fed his mind. And this is a mental science. So Troward's wonderful. Any other questions? Oh boy. I'm gonna hand you the microphone.
Mine's fast.
You're gonna be faster.
I know, right?
Well, it's,
Yeah, she's got to look over to see.
I gotta look.
Oh, okay, because it looks
I
like.
have a question for everybody. Would you guys like name tags?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you have a preference? I have pin-on ones, but a lot of people don't want it to go through their clothes. So should I get pin and clip?
Magnets.
Or magnets?
Or
like
Magnets.
You can do lanyards.
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 Oh,
Lanyards.
man.
Magnets work really well. In fact, I have one, I have meaning to wear it. It's really cool. My name is printed, and it has a magnet on both sides, and you just magnetize it inside to the outside. And I love it because I hate pins, and I don't want a lanyard. I keep meaning to wear
Okay, so, we're gonna work on that.
How about
And let's keep
BYO?
them here,
Yes.
so that
Yes.
you all have great memories, but I might leave mine home.
No, leave them here, just pick them up, wear them back.
In the beginning, we could just do those stick-on ones for a while, so we
Could do that
That
too.
would be fun.
Tommy?
BYO, bring your own attachment.
Yeah, I have one.
That could be interesting.
If you like lanyards,
Bring your
you've
own
got
bag.
a bunch of lanyards, bring your own lanyard.
I'll just come
Bring
and
Bring
grab
your
it.
own lanyard, yeah.
We used to have a bunch of lanyards for those who want them.
Aspen.
I am willing to help with that project. I know where to get a large pack of. They just hold a little card and you just print out. It'll have. We'll design a little name tag for you. You can be like first name, last initial, and have the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living logo on it. Just print out some nice paper, put it inside, and it has a magnet for the inside and outside. And then we can have a space to keep them so we can put them out and people can put them on. Because I'm terrible at names.
I am
Hard to remember the name.
Okay.
At what cost?
How much is that gonna cost?
I'll make it work.
I'll make a donation to make that happen.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
I would give you some money
Cool,
for
cool.
it, yeah.
I'll put together how much that'll cost and bring it up next week.
Okay,
great.
perfect,
Nice.
perfect. Any other questions? Stephanie, didn't you have?
Do the glasses.
Oh, the glasses. Okay, look at that, we're done. 126, oh, well, we ran over a little bit.
I think it would be, I know we thanked a couple of people. It'd be nice to thank the people who have, you know, like our board members.
Yeah.
Give me that. I'll be the lead thanker. Okay, some of this we've already done.
sort of unofficially, but thank you to Aspen and Doug for sounding
Yay.
it out. Thank you for Ann for supporting our giving to the community and having such a heart that really expands into this community.
And
Sunday morning setup, yeah.
And Sunday morning setup.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Ann, and who else for Sunday morning setup?
Corey.
Sue, and Corey, and Bonnie.
Corey.
Okay. Thank you, Peter, for being such an amazing practitioner and holding up. Thank you to our incredible board, to Sue, to Ann, to Carol, to Corey, to Patricia. We love you.
You like how the newsletter works?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's thanks to Beth.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
I know you told, I'm sure there's things she's done that I don't even
Okay.
know, but you're like, I just called Bev and she helped me with this thing and blah, blah, blah. And so thank you so much for lending your expertise and your love. And to every single person who's here, whether I've named you or not, all of your energy, all of your beauty, all of your love, all of your connection, the support that you give each other, even just by chatting, showing up. Thank you for this amazing community. I am grateful.
Yes.
You're doing it, Debbie, go ahead.
And so it is. What?
And thank you, Debbie.
You're up there,
Oh,
rolling.
Well, and so we need to double thank, which is Reverend Patricia.
Yes.
For each month.
And thank you, Debbie.
Can I just say, thank all of you for the enthusiasm.
Yes.
The vibe has changed so much,
Yes.
and it's because of all of us.
Yes.
That is just so exciting.
Nope, she wants you.
I thought Debbie was up there rolling, I said, you want to do the benediction?
Here. Nah, you're on there. You gotta do it.
I'm so grateful for the to do the benediction for us. And look at our community, look at what we have. This hasn't been like this before. It's brand new for each and every one of us. And we are going out here today knowing that we are opening our minds and our hearts and our doors to everyone out there who doesn't have a community to belong to for whatever reason. They're welcome here. And I can't wait to see what's coming to all of us. So with great gratitude, I release this mild, powerful word into the law, saying,
And
so it is.